Welcome back to Go With Us, and this is everything you really need to know this week in Pokemon Go, running from the 20th of April all the way until the 27th. Let's get straight into our calendar now, and the first thing we need to touch on is going to be our Max Monday on Monday, which is going to be the debut of Dynamax Regirock. This Pokemon can come as shiny. It's definitely not a 1 in 20 shiny rate. It'll probably be closer to 1 in 64 or 1 in 128. This is the second Dynamax Regi we've seen. Dynamax Registeel will most probably be coming in May, but let's just have a look at Regirock and how good it is as a max attacker. Well guys, let's have a look at its base stats. At level 50, it maxes out at 3530, which is solid. It has an attack value of 179, which is a little bit lackluster, but a defense of 309 and a stamina of 190. So we can already tell you, just like it was for Regi Ice, that this is probably going to be more of a defensive Pokemon rather than an attacking one. It does resist fire, normal, poison, and flying, but it actually is weak to 5 different types, which is going to be fighting, grass, ground, steel, and water. But the one thing it does have on its side is going to be the fast move of Lock On, normal type move. All of the Regis do know this move, and why it's such a good move to have on a Dynamax Pokemon is that it is a half a second fast move, which is going to allow it to charge the Dynamax meter a lot quicker. But because of the base stats of this Pokemon, we can already tell you that you will be using this as a tank, not necessarily as an attacker. And even as a raid attacker, this really proves my point. Just have a look at where Regirock is ranked, and it's currently not even breaking into the top 70 as a rock type attacker, even though it is a Regi. There's one explanation for that attack stat. This Monday is officially your last day of the Sustainability Week event, which will be ending on 8 p.m. on Monday. Guys, it's very important to mention again that Silicobra has made its debut. It looks like it's really only featuring in desert biomes quite strictly, which is a little bit disappointing. Remember, you just need that 50 candy to evolve it into Sandaconda. Also, don't forget about walking routes to get your Galarian Corsola with the Elton John glasses that can be shiny, as well as walking routes on the last 2 days, because you will get the Galarian Corsola spawns, but you will also get the Lapras spawns that will be coming with a shiny boost as well, because that only happens in the last 2 days of this event, which, as when this video gets released, it is still going to be live, so remember that. Let's touch on that Go Pass very quickly. You guys have probably already reached the required ranks, but remember, you will get an avatar item pose, more encounters with Sustainability Week Pokemon. You're going to get incense, silver pineapple berries, rare XL candy, and of course the milestone bonus is coming with that at tier 1, which is going to be at level 10. It's going to be 2 times XP for spinning Pokestops, and at tier 2, which is going to be at level 20, it's going to be half egg hatch distance when eggs are placed into an incubator. Of course, when this video goes live, we would have just played Riolu Hatch Day, so you would have cleared a lot of your eggs. Please try and remember to get that last bunch of 7-kilometer eggs so you can still hatch Sustainability Week Pokemon even after the event ends. Remember, hatching from 7-kilometer eggs, we can see Lapras, Togepi, Galarian Corsola wearing the pink sunglasses, cast form, as well as Trubbish. Please bear in mind that cast form will be coming with a shiny boost as well. We also know the complete field research tasks. Catch 10 Pokemon is going to be a cast form encounter. Catch 15 Pokemon is going to be a Combi, Cherubi, or a Foongus. Please remember to stack that Foongus in your stack tasks for the next 3 times Catch Stardust event, which we've just had for Tinkatink, just to give an example, and I'm just going to leave this running on screen right now. Just have a look at the stacked Pokemon I was catching on Tinkatink Calm Day. Huge Stardust gains here. Explore 3 kilometers is going to get you Lapras, Togetic, or Trubbish. Again, another Pokemon you want to stack with Togetic and Trubbish. And Hatch 2 eggs is going to get you that Galarian Corsola encounter. Spawning in the wild for the last 2 days, we're going to see Seedot, Cast Form, Foongus, which is that permanently boosted Stardust Pokemon, granting 500 Stardust per catch. We see Binnacle in there, Cutiefly, Gossifleur, Silicobra, Toedscool, which is coming with that shiny boost. Beautiful shiny, I must say, going into that Toedscruel, as well as Wiglet. Just my last point on Monday, remember that daily discoveries bonus, which is going to be happening until the end of the season, which is going to be Fast Track Monday. So on the Monday, if you haven't got all of those Sustainability Week bonuses from the Go Pass, on Monday, it's going to be double the points for completing your daily tasks. So you should progress that a lot quicker too. Very quickly, before I progress, we have to talk about that research breakthrough box, which will be happening until the end of the season. Let's just run through it very quickly. You need to get your 7th day stamp. Once you get the stamp, you will get a research breakthrough box. It will ultimately reward you with a reward Pokemon. Those are going to be Gyarados at 100% CP of 1453. Honedge is in there at 595, Dhelmise is in there at 1264, Sinistea is in there at 488 CP, Duraludon's in there at 1314 CP, Dreepy is in there at 328 CP. That is the only one here that cannot be shiny. That's pretty much Monday out of the way, but before I get any further, let's touch on our raids this week. What is going to be our 5-star raid boss? And it looks like leaving on the 21st, so we've got one more day to do this, is going to be Groudon. Please, whatever you do, raid Groudon. Try and get that hundo, more specifically for Primal Groudon with Precipice Blades. It is the best ground type attacker in the game. It is one of the best Pokemon in Pokemon GO right now, especially in its primal form. Please remember that a primal raid day with Kyogre as well as Groudon will most probably take place at some point, but not necessarily for the foreseeable future unless we get very lucky. So this is probably one of your only weeks and last few days to get yourself a good Groudon, so please remember that. By replacing Groudon on the 22nd, Tapu Koko will be coming back into rotation, which is a fairy and electric type Pokemon originally coming from the Alola region. It has a max CP of 3582, an attack value of 250, which is really good for us, a defense of 181, and a stamina of 172. The fast attacks it has is going to be Volt Switch and Quick Attack, and the charge attacks it has is going to be Thunder, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Brave Bird, but it also gets one extra move, which is going to be Nature's Madness, its signature move. Let me just say that as a fairy type move, this makes all of the Tapus significantly stronger. In fact, Tapu Koko with Nature's Madness is currently the 7th best fairy type attacker in the game, and with Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, it is the 24th best electric type attacker in the game. Tapu Koko will come with a 1 in 20 shiny rate. I remember doing, I think my very first Tapu Koko raid, I got a shiny. It was actually on this couch right here. I never forget that. A couple years ago. It's a very good shiny. Make sure to go after it. If you guys want to know the 100% IVs and non-weather boosted weather, it's going to be 1810 CP, but the 100% weather boosted CP is going to be 2263 in rainy and cloudy weather because of that electric and fairy typing. Let's move on to our mega raids now, and just like it was for Groudon, Mega Alakazam, you will literally have 2 days left to get this Pokemon. It hasn't returned in some time, but let's just run through some of these stats very quickly. Its max CP is over 5,000, which is just incredible. Have a look at that attack stat, 367, one of the highest in Pokemon GO, which currently makes this Pokemon the 2nd best psychic type attacker in the entire game, but that's not the power of it. It gets access to Dazzling Gleam to make it a brilliant fairy type attacker. It gets access to Focus Blast, so you can use it as a fighting type attacker, but it also gets access to Shadow Ball, which I would strongly recommend, and I did say it last week, to use it against the new Mega Mewtwo's, which will be coming during Go Fest. Let me just say why. Because Mega Alakazam is a pure Psychic type Pokemon, it's going to resist a lot of the Psychic type attacks coming from Mewtwo, but the Shadow Ball is going to hit it tremendously hard because of that high attack stat. Trust me, this is one Mega you're going to want to use. Also, if you have it at Mega level 3, every single Mewtwo you catch, you're now going to get +2 candy and an extra 25% more chance at getting XL candy on each reroll, on top of the 3 guaranteed XL candy you do from a legendary raid. So guys, trust me, this is a Pokemon you want to get at Mega level 3. But then replacing Mega Alakazam on the 21st and coming in on the 22nd, it looks like Mega Sharpedo will be making its return, the water and dark type Pokemon originally coming from the Hoenn region. Unfortunately, Mega Sharpedo doesn't have the best stats on its side. At level 50, it's maxing out at 3701, which is solid. It has an attack value of 289, which if it wasn't a Mega, it would be tremendously good. But as a Mega, it's okay, a defense value of 140 for it, which is very poor, and a stamina of 172, which is a little bit below average. So this Pokemon is going to hit pretty hard, but it's definitely going to get wiped out very quickly on the battlefield. As a dark type attacker, you can use Bite and Crunch with it, and that is going to make it the 27th best dark type attacker. And with Waterfall and Hydro Pump, it's going to make this Pokemon the 21st best water type attacker in the game. If you are starting your Pokemon GO journey, or if you've just returned back to the game and you're looking for some decent water or dark types, Mega Sharpedo could be a decent place to start. Try and get this Pokemon to Mega level 3 though, because you can reap the candy and XL candy for dark and water type Pokemon whenever that does come about. But the last thing I will say here is that with the new Super Mega raids, it was said in some of those articles that as time goes on, there may be more bonuses that are added, but to each Mega individually, which means something like Mega Sharpedo could potentially give you a different bonus to something like Mega Dragonite would maybe in the future. That is something they did state on an article some time ago. So again, trying to get every Mega is going to be in your best interest. We can move past our raid bosses until we look at our 5-star Shadow raid boss for the month, and you've only got 2 weeks left to do this. It is going to be Shadow Latios, a max CP of 4310, which is very good, an attack value of 268, defense of 212, and a stamina of 190. Because this Pokemon is a shadow, that attack value is actually going to be increased by 20%, but its defensive stats are going to be decreased by 20%. That is what the shadow bonus does. As a dragon type attacker, it is currently the 22nd best in the game with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw, and as a psychic type attacker, it is currently in the top 10, hovering around the 8th or 9th spot with Zen Headbutt and Psychic. Even in the Master League as well, this Pokemon performs pretty well and does get access to something like Luster Purge. It's not always recommended to have this move on this Pokemon, but in certain PvP contexts, it could help you a lot. Once you hit 60 or 70% of its health, it will become enraged. It's going to be surrounded by that big kind of purple glow. You need 8 purified gems to take away that enraged state, or you can just power through if you do have the top counters. Please remember to party up because it is going to double your damage with at least 3 to 4 trainers to take this thing down. I think you could duo it, but you would need the absolute top attackers and probably megas on your side to really give you the best chance. Those are the main raids out of the way, but let's get back to our calendar again. On Tuesday, there is no main event happening this week until the weekend, which we will cover in a little bit, but don't forget about Showcase Tuesdays, which allows us to feature Pokemon up to 20 different categories. Let me just say, if you're on your way to getting that Platinum Showcase medal, you need to win 100 showcases. I would strongly recommend playing this in a quieter kind of neighborhood where there's not a lot of trainers, maybe not a lot of stops, but there may be that one stop that does have a showcase attached to it. Remember to enter those, get yourself some premium items, although it has been said that the showcase rewards have now been nerfed because of this new bonus. Not sure that's a win. Was it really worth it taking away spotlight hours for this? Not sure. Very quickly, a little side note. Please would you guys give me a follow on Instagram? If you guys didn't know, I'm actually an actor on the side, and the way these castings work nowadays is that they really do look at your following, and I kind of want to include you guys on that journey. I am going to start posting more of my acting stuff and of course a little bit more of my personal life, but if you could please help me out with that follow, I'd really appreciate it, and to be honest, I would rather be followed by you guys. Let's move on to Wednesday now. Back to our calendar again. We can see that the only thing we really need to worry about on that Wednesday is going to be that raid hour for Tapu Koko. We just spoke about how good its base stats are, how good it is as an electric type and fairy type attacker specifically. Even in the Master League, this Pokemon can put in some work for you. If you're looking for that shiny, this is a great time to go after it because you can knock out a couple in one go because they are going to be spawning all over the place. Remember to raid Tapu Koko. Let's move on to Thursday now, and it looks like the only thing there is going to be Go Battle Thursdays. We do mention this every week. Please remember you can complete up to 10 sets on this day, which is actually 50 battles, but at 4 times Stardust rewards. Just off Stardust, guys, you can get huge Stardust gains here. Please get into Gold Battle League. It definitely has a bit of a shift lately. It's feeling a little bit more fair. Of course, this is dependent on things like internet and all of that, but most importantly, who cares about that? You guys want to get rewards and you guys want to have fun, right? In fact, I did mention this last week and I'm going to say it again. Juzzy, for example, the editor of this channel, actually got a Hundo Machamp, or Machop, of course, that he evolved into a Machamp, which is actually now one of the best Master League Pokemon. It's one of the best Pokemon to use taking down Giovanni or all of the Rocket Leaders. It's one of the best utility Pokemon in the game, and he wouldn't have got that if he didn't play Go Battle League. In fact, I had another community member just last week that got a Hundo Zacian off the GBL track reward. Guys, do not sleep on it. It's not just Stardust rewards, you can get Pokemon too. Then on to Friday, which is going to be the 24th. Don't ever sleep. And I'm going to say it, I will be the content creator that reminds you about this forever until you stop playing Pokemon Go. Friendship Fridays. You must trade all of your Pokemon on this day. In fact, as of recording this video, I'm going to be trading Pokemon. And I'm so glad I did this because some of you pull me apart for saying trading doesn't work. I literally did 100 trades yesterday from Tinkatink Calm Day, and have a look. Bang! Hundo Lucky Tinkatink right there for everyone to see. And remember, this was not on Friendship Friday. This Pokemon just happened to go lucky outside of Friday, but on Fridays, you get more chance of lucky trades. You're gonna get 2 XL candy per trade. Trades are gonna cost 10% less Stardust, but you can actually do 1 additional special trade on that day, which makes a total of 2. And with the event coming up as well, there's actually a lot more that you can do as well in a 2-day period. Guys, trade your Pokemon. I say it every week, and I literally just proved it to you guys what trading does. Bang, there you go. Big reward for me here. Then let's move on to Saturday, and this is going to be the only main event of this week, which is going to be the return of the Go Bigger event, the replay event, which is going to be featuring Gmax Venusaur, Gmax Charizard, Gmax Blastoise, as well as Gmax Gengar. The following bonuses is that the max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. All power spots will be hosting Gmax battles. These Gmax battles are going to be rotating every 30 minutes. Additional power spots will also be active to host these Gmax raids. It's going to be 8 times max particles particles when we collect them from power spots. We can make up to 3 special trades per day. You hear that, guys? 3 special trades, and on the day before, Friday, which is 2 special trades. So 5 special trades in the space of 2 days, of which 2 of them have more of a lucky chance. Trade your Pokemon, guys. They are literally feeding us opportunities to trade not just regular Pokemon, rare Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, shiny Pokemon, and all it takes is one of those to go lucky, just like I did with my Tinkatink. Trust me, guys, use these special trades to your advantage. And then also the remote raid limit will be increased to 20, which is going to be from April 24th at 5 p.m. PDT time all the way until April 25th, 8 p.m. PDT time. There will be an event ticket for a total cost of $5, which will reward you a timed research, which is going to include 1 max mushroom, which does double your damage in these raids. You're going to get 25,000 XP as well as 6,400 max particles, but you are going to get 2 times XP from completing these max battles. With our video coming up, and if you have watched previous videos, you can get up to 200,000 XP per raid. Guys, that is broken, on top of almost 40,000 Stardust, and we're going to show you how to do that. And we've even got a method to do some of these raids for absolutely free to max out how many max particles you actually use before the event and during the event. Stay tuned for that video because it's definitely coming soon. Out of the 4 to raid, undoubtedly your best 2 are going to be Gmax Charizard as well as Gmax Gengar. Gengar is currently and probably will be for the foreseeable future the best ghost type max attacker in the game. Gmax Charizard is currently the 2nd best fire type attacker, just behind Gmax Cinderace, but its bulk is actually a little bit better, so it can be used potentially more as a tank. Those 2 are undoubtedly your best. Gmax Venusaur is a solid attacker, it's a solid tank as well, but it's not going to be as good as something like a Gmax Rillaboom. Gmax Blastoise is probably your least priority on this day, although it can be a very good tank in certain scenarios. It's important to mention that before this day even happens, you need to have your teams prepared. You need to be ready to go. You need to know exactly where you are playing, who you're playing with, unless you of course are remote raiding. That's going to change your strategy. But with these Gmax battles, we know that you can't duo any of these. You're going to need a hell of a lot of trainers, at least probably 10 plus to be honest, to get all of these done. And let's just say the rewards are very much part of this equation, not just the Pokemon. I know you guys have just played Riolu Hatch Day. Remember, trade those Pokemon, wait until next Friday. That's going to be a huge tip I wanted to say. But if you haven't checked out that video and why it's so important, even though we've just played it, please check it out to my left up here. And then once our Gmax replay video is done, featuring all those Kanto starters as well as Gengar, we will leave this video as the end screen as well. Guys, appreciate your support. Please smash that like and subscribe button. We stacked everything going on this week, although it is a little bit more of a quieter week. There are some big wins hidden here and there that you can really take advantage of. Please smash that hype button. It really helps us grow as a channel. What it really does is just send us as creators, as well as the video you're watching, as far as wide as possible. It tells the algorithm all the positive stuff. And of course, we cannot grow without you guys. And again, just a huge thank you. The numbers are growing and we're literally growing with you guys. We want to do this with you. We don't want to do it alone. And again, we really appreciate your support. Be there, go with us. We'll catch you in next week's episode. In fact, we'll catch you for Gmax Battle Day. Love you guys. Catch you in the next one, baby.